Welcome to the Thanksgiving edition of Top Shelf Dusters. Amanda was supposed to be here, and she's not again. I don't know why we pay her. It's ridiculous, actually.
She's fact checking a losing trivia team, so
That's right.
a lot of confidence there.
That's what she gets for not having Google. My name is Jesse. We are also joined with Cass this evening.
All right, let's start this off by saying the St. Louis Blues have tampered with the NHL.
Wait.
Me and my Boston Bruins
Wait.
file a lawsuit.
We are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. Let's.
I'll say something else. Amanda, your next trivia question is: when is the last time the Carolina Hurricanes have won an Eastern Conference Final game?
That's a good one.
2006.
Something like that. Anyway, we are also here with Ethan, who I think corrected or guessed correctly there.
Yeah, I think it's 2006.
Amanda, can you pull that up?
Yeah, Amanda.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Never mind. We don't want you to because you're leading a losing trivia team.
Second week in a row, you left us.
Flat left us. Just straight flat left us. So, Cass, Jim Montgomery, what do we got going on?
So, me and my cronies up here in Boston are going to file a civil action suit against Jim Montgomery and the St. Louis Blues.
Class action.
Alexander Steen. That one. All the actions. Because 5 days after being let go by the Bruins, he has been hired by the St. Louis Blues. Within 24 hours of him getting hired by the St. Louis Blues, yours truly put a $5 bet in for the St. Louis Blues to make the playoffs. So, go Jim Montgomery.
I mean, I think we will. I think that might happen. That could happen.
I think the worst part of this is poor Drew Bannister's wife, who got fired now. He has to sit at home crying about what happened because he got axed for a better coach. I mean, I do like...
What happened there, though, kind of ridiculous. Don't you think?
Kind of bullshit. Yeah. Good job on the interim. We're going to hire you 20 games later. No one better came. Thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of whack.
If the Blues didn't, someone else would have.
For sure.
Well, we all made guesses last week or on Saturday.
Do you
and nobody was thinking Blues.
Which is crazy because he was an assistant there before he became the head coach of Boston.
Yeah, but who would have thought 22 games in? See you later.
Yeah,
Drew.
I think that's really what surprised me, that they had him as an interim coach, which, and they wanted him at the end of the season. They signed him to a contract, and then they're just going to be like, sorry, Jim Montgomery became available. Go to hell.
My question to the Blues is, why did you not hire him as a head coach before he left? Why did he ever go to Boston? What did they do with that?
They are now the St. Louis Golden Knights because they're starting to be like Vegas, where they just start axing people and getting rid of people and just bringing in the next best person. So, hockey is a business. Can't say I'm totally surprised.
It is.
I think it's a great move for St. Louis.
Agreed.
He already has repertoire with most of the guys there. Obviously he's worked with Steve Ott before, who is also an assistant there because they work together. I just think it makes too much sense not to pull this move. And obviously it sucks to be Drew Bannister to work his way up to where he was.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully it works out for them.
Shout out Steve Ott. That was the second NHL jersey I ever owned. A Dallas Stars Steve Ott jersey.
I feel like you've
He's
said that
very
before
nice
here.
dude.
He also got his ass kicked in February 2011 by the Bruins in 4 fights in 3 seconds clip. If you want to cue that up, we'll watch the next episode.
That 2011 fight is why I hate Boston. Legit. Because they put, I think, 3 or 4 of our players on IR in that game.
They deserved it.
Oh, it was awful.
What do you expect when you're facing 6'9" Chara? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? He's literally punching down at you. Like,
it was awful.
It was great. That was the most shared and watched clip ever in Freeze the Puck.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. History. I wonder if that's still getting
over 1.5 million views.
I wonder if that's still getting traction. We should go look back at that. You're gonna have to tell me when.
Amanda, you want to look at that?
Or you should. You, the watcher.
Yes, you should go do that too.
I have 2 things about the coaching fiasco. First of all, Cass, from a Bruins standpoint, do you now have more faith in the Bruins, less faith in the Bruins, or about the same?
Now a week later, seeing them win two out of three and maybe 3 out of 4, I'm
Mhm.
hopeful, but they still haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game. They still haven't scored a third period goal at home.
That's
They still
concerning.
have the issues that they have, and they haven't really played that good of a team. They played Detroit. They played Vancouver was good. They lost 2-0, 1-0.
It was 1-0. Yeah, I saw that game.
So of course, Jake DeBrusk just
That-
thanks for your old team.
I'm not gonna lie, I loved that.
What
I
are the
thought the-
chances? What are the chances? I was just like,
poetry, pure poetry
That's
on that one.
I'm right about. I'm a little bit more optimistic, but I'm not like, yeah, woo, second round of the playoffs, here we come. Oh,
First
we'll see.
round, maybe.
Hopefully, yeah. I like, yeah. It's
That's better than where we would have expected it to be come before the Jim Montgomery firing, which still
Yeah, sure.
just, I really don't think that Boston made the right call on that. I think that was a little hasty. But there's people in the comments, Boston fans that I've seen in the comments of Twitter and whatever, that are like, that are happy about it. So, I mean, and with the results that you've seen thus far, I mean, it's not a big sample size or anything, but winning the games that you did win, they looked pretty good from what I saw. So
I would love
Yeah.
to hear anyone defend that move. Like genuinely defend it and
Yeah.
not just rely on, well, we're 22 games in and we're not doing so hot.
I mean, their defense is definitely playing tighter. I'll say that.
okay.
But
But this guy was involved with the coaching before Montgomery left, so
It wasn't like they flipped
Yeah.
a switch.
yeah.
well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like we all know that he was the fall guy. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Do you
So
do you think there were issues with Marchand? I saw there was a clip right before
Oh,
right
yeah.
before the firing that happened, where Montgomery. This was after the first time he flipped out at him. Where Montgomery was yelling at him and all this nonsense, and then Marchand looks back at him and he's pointing at the sea. Obviously, you can't hear what they were talking about, but it seemed like they were getting a little bit heated on the bench there.
I think it's kind of overblown, like the whole last year first round series with Toronto. Where I think it was Nylander and Marner were snapping back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those sports things. Same thing at work. You blow off, you fucking get pissed at someone and
I
get
did
mad,
that
and
this
then
week.
20 minutes later, you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens all the time in construction. So
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it sucks, especially because of the record that he had here in Boston.
Right. That's what
At the same time,
I'm saying.
we need to set him up this year very well at all.
Here's
No.
my second question. I know we got to move on. but
Yes.
with Drew Bannister now out and he didn't get a fair shot, I mean, the Blues were actually doing better than they have been doing. Which team do you think will fire their coach to bring in Drew Bannister?
San Jose Barracuda. He's going. He's
you
not
think
going
he
to go
goes
to the
AHL?
NHL. I think he goes AHL.
I think
don't think-
AHL would be the landing spot for him. I know that there's other coaches that are on the hot seat right now, but I think there's better coaches available. Not to say that Drew Bannister's not a good coach. I do agree with you, Cass. The Blues were looking better with him behind the bench. And unfortunately, the first game that Jim Montgomery was in, they destroyed the New York Rangers.
But Seattle, they have just hired a former NHL coach who has spent more recent time in the AHL.
Right.
It's not panning out the way they thought. Why would you not take an NHL coach current that has shown he can make a team that was a bottom dweller rise a little bit?
I don't think Seattle will get rid of Bilesma.
I think they do have to keep.
Yeah. I don't think
Offense,
that's...
him a
Allen
little
and
bit
Jesse,
wild.
They suck. So I mean,
They're mid right now. They're right
they overachieved
in the middle
2
there.
years ago, and everyone expects them to get to that point again.
They're at a
Um,
point where they either need to trust the system or bail.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there's if they don't make the playoffs this season, which I don't think they will, there's going to be a bigger shakeup, I think, in Seattle than anything. But getting off track.
Hold on, who's next to go?
The whole team, they're going to Quebec.
No, who's the next coach to get gassed?
In my mind right now, Brunette, Mike Sullivan. Those would probably be the top two in my mind. I hope that they don't get rid of Bruno in Nashville. I don't know what the hell is going on there though. That's crazy.
Nashville. I think Nashville's the answer.
Yeah, that would probably be it.
For me.
What about you, Cass? What do you think?
Kind of think Nashville sounds like the smart answer, but I have to be different, so I'm going to say Anaheim or Utah.
Utah, I forgot about Utah.
I cannot imagine Utah firing their coach in their first season.
I like him too, though. I think he's a good coach. I mean, I just
think
don't
that's a ballsy move.
Yeah, I don't think
they did make a lot of additions this year, so
I don't think they're playoff ready anyway. So I think that give him another year or two maybe in Utah, but it would be crazy if they fired him.
Seattle wasn't playoff ready either, but they gassed Axtell.
I mean, I'm grateful that they
were
did
too
that.
late on it.
I'm grateful that they did
soon.
that. No,
imagine
pull up
if
that
Monty
video.
went there.
They shouldn't have even done that. Which one?
Myers.
Oh yeah, so Timo Meyer of the New Jersey Devils was suspended without pay for the cross-check on Nashville Predators Zachary something French, Larue. The NHL Department of Player Safety announced this suspension yesterday. This is the incident. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but he definitely got him in the face. And you'll see a slow motion shot of that here in a moment. What do you think?
I mean, it's fucked up as it is to say.
It's hard
if I was Timo Myers, I'd do that all day for one game.
But come on, yeah, I mean, yeah, for one game it makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it'd be. I don't think he has a history. That's why it's only one. But I thought.
Yeah, but watch right here. That's kind of rough. That's kind of rough there, man.
You can't dispute that.
Yeah.
Ethan's like, I think it should have only been one period suspension.
No. That's dirty. That's intentional. There's clear
horrible.
intent. I'm shocked it's actually one. I think it should have been more.
I think two would have sufficed, but whatever. So Meyer forfeits $45,833. That is half of my salary.
One game.
Jesus Christ. The money of that goes to the Players Emergency Assistance Fund. $45,833. Can you give it me?
What does that fund go to, I wonder?
Or maybe 18 to 20 minutes of hockey.
Yeah.
It's not even like he's playing the full 60. It's 18 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what the Players Emergency Assistance Fund goes to. Are you looking it up?
No.
All right. Well,
no, we can look that up at another time.
Amanda.
Yeah. But definitely worthy of the suspension.
I've never heard of anything about that fund going to anything.
Yeah, I feel like I have, not recently though. I feel like in the past I've heard of it. But yeah, I definitely hear where you're coming from with that.
We'll figure that out. Moving on, there was another, podcast out there with a host that played in the NHL, Paul Bissonnette.
You might know him.
And maybe you do, maybe you don't. And he was involved in a bar fight in Arizona.
Yep.
And so, ironically, he's a former Arizona Coyote player at one point, and he was assaulted at a Scottsdale area bar, and he was stepping in to stop a group of drunk golfers who were causing issues at the bar. And he gets in and all of a sudden finds himself in a 6-on-1 fight.
Yeah.
We have a
clip of that?
report. No, I'm waiting for
Imagine.
one. There's not much out there other than that.
Did you see that they released the mugshots of the guys? I don't have an image of it.
Like 6 drunk leprechauns.
They look like 6 drunk leprechaun golfers.
Yes. They did all get arrested, but they were released several hours later.
Of course they were. They made
one of
bond
them
or whatever.
facing felony charges, though.
Really? I haven't read the charges.
That's what they said on the podcast.
Yeah, that's got to be like post-arrest or something he did during the arrest.
I'm not going to speculate. Yeah, I mean, regardless.
But I only say that I love watching body cam footage stuff, and a lot of people pick up felonies when it's like time to go in the handcuffs. As soon as you resist or kind of combat the police, that's felony right there. But getting into a fight, that's not a felony. So I'm interested.
He's a hockey guy. They should have just given those guys 5 minutes. A couple of them should have gotten, you know,
They're golfers.
instigators. Whatever. It's Paul.
Do you
Biz.
know a built golfer who
No.
can fight?
No. That's why they need 6 of them.
Here's a fun update though on the story. Biz has come out and he said he's so fired up to seek vengeance against the men who sparked the brawl. And he vows to make their lives miserable.
Good.
So
Good on him. I hope he gets
for the first time he's using his platform well.
I love the dude. I think he's hilarious. I love the guy. When I met him,
hockey.
yeah, when I met him, he was the most down to earth dude, and he was he needed to leave. He was talking to me. He didn't want to end the conversation. He was a cool guy. So I like the dude. Definitely not
subtle brag that Jesse met.
I did. Yeah. Definitely not worthy of anybody getting assaulted by 6 dudes. The dude got jumped by golfers. So unjustifiable in any way.
Did you tell him about our podcast?
This was before we were doing. Oh, was it? I don't remember. No, I didn't tell him.
No,
I didn't.
it was not.
It was not. It was the Winter Classic. No, I did not. No. Anyway, moving on.
Must be nice, Winter Classic.
I did go to Stadium Series too. Remember that?
Right. I'm out.
Time out.
Can you believe, for the 12 people that are listening right now, that a half season of Dallas Stars tickets is only $770? That's $38 a game per ticket. That is wild. I can't even park my car at Harvard Yard for $38. Freaking nuts. This is bullshit.
Oh my God.
Jeremy Jacobs, do better.
I
don't know that
Rant
if you're
over.
a new season ticket holder, that's the price. Just warning.
So you're also sitting super high up too, right? Like, I don't think even in Seattle that would be $38 a ticket. It would probably be $80. So,
like you said, that's what happens when you steal a team. Way to go, Minnesota Stars.
no,
Dallas
that's not what I
Stars, whatever
said.
you
That's
wanna
not what
call
I
it.
said. What I said was his team is a hand-me-down team, and that's
Oh,
why.
okay.
That's why his tickets are cheaper than the original 6 who's been around for 100 years.
The word stars is on the Stanley Cup one time, and the word Minnesota is not involved at all.
Bruins are on it 6 times.
Anyway, since we're talking about the original 6 teams, I wanted to address the New York Rangers rumors that have been going around. Elliot Friedman tweeted on, Monday? That in the aftermath of the 6-2 loss in Edmonton on Saturday, which was not good. You watched it. It was bad. I think I shut it off in the middle of the podcast we were recording last week. They made it clear that they are interested in making moves and shaking up their roster. And then he named Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba in there, although other options will be considered. Do not get rid of Chris Kreider, please, for the love of God. I think he's one of the only people that is consistent. He has 0 assists right now, which is crazy to me. But I think he has 9 goals. Don't get rid of Chris Kreider. I'm cool with Trouba going. I think I said that last week, but
Who would want him at that price tag?
no, they're gonna have to retain if they can. They're gonna
makes
have
sense.
to. Yeah, they're gonna have to. There's no way, because he's at $8 million a year. There's no way that he would go for the full 8. Any team who did that would be dumb.
Is he on his last year?
No, he's got a couple more years left, but after this year, the 15-team no movement clause goes down to 12. So you get a little bit more freedom. Mika Zibanejad has a full no movement clause and is not doing well either. So we're screwed on that one.
This is the same story every year.
I know, dude.
Every year.
I know.
It's like, here's our team. We were really good last year. We're going to go with the same team. And then we're a quarter of the way through. And now it's like, okay, the players aren't doing what they normally do. Let's move them. And then it doesn't even work out. Like Patrick Kane. That didn't pan out.
That was, I was vehemently against that. I think that them getting Tarasenko was good enough. They also had picked up, I think, Tyler Mott at that time and Frank Vetrano. They brought in too many guys at that point, and then they got swept. I think that was the year they got swept by the Devils. So, or not swept. They got ousted by the Devils in the first round. So,
And then what New York ends up doing typically is it's like, hey, Tampa Bay, let's trade.
Do you want our
we'll take
captain?
Ryan McDonough for
you-
for Trouba?
Do you want our captain? Ryan McDonough's not even playing anymore.
Oh, he's not?
No, he's an analyst
No,
on TNT,
Oh,
I
I'm
think.
sorry. I'm thinking of. No, you're thinking of Ryan Callahan.
Oh, Ryan Callahan. Yeah, that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Ryan McDonough, he
Jeez,
went from
that's
Nashville
big.
back to Tampa.
Too many Ryans, too many Connors, too many Austins, too many whatever.
One McDonough. But that's the New York Ranger and Tampa Bay thing to do. Let's swap some aging players and
I mean,
change.
we did get St. Louis from them, which at the time, that was 2014. That was a win because we went to the final at that point. That was a good move.
Yes, but didn't Ryan Callahan then win a cup with Tampa?
Fuck you.
Or
Let's
was
move on.
he out before then?
I'm done. No. No, I'm kidding. But I think it's too much to make explosive moves right now. Right now they're playing well against Carolina. It's 3-2 in the third. They're beating them. So that's a playoff team. So I think that's something good to look at. They did get handed by their asses by the Blues. It was not a good game. Edmonton did just kill them. But I don't know, man. I don't know what we can do to get good guys to come in with the guys that we're willing and looking to trade. Unless we're going to trade Alexis Lafreniere, which I don't want to happen, and I hope it doesn't. Capo Caco could be somebody that they could move. They do have a lot of good young guys. I'm loving Will Cooley. The way that he's playing is insane. So, but these are guys you don't want to get rid of.
Jonathan Quick. There are teams who would take him. You wouldn't get a big return.
No, you wouldn't, but he's killing it. He's killing it. So that's another guy. I don't know, man.
Do you think? Okay,
You want to
Thanksgiving's
keep Jonathan
tomorrow.
Quick around for when Igor Shesterkin holds out next year.
Which is
Cass
definitely going to
knows.
happen.
Cass wishes he had an old mark in his back pocket.
A quick.
Do you think? Okay, tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Christmas is just around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Do the Rangers make a trade by Christmas?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just don't think they're going to be able to move the guys that they want to move for what they're probably going to be asking for. So
it would be smarter to even hold out for the trade deadline. Teams will pay more.
that's true. I would probably wait until then. If they scored again. Oh no, they didn't. If the team is not in a playoff spot, come let's say the whatever the hell it's called. The Four Nations. Thank you. I appreciate it. The Four Nations. Thank you. If they're not in a playoff spot at that point, then they should make a trade.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Moving on to crazy things.
Yes.
The Biz fight is not the only violence I'm talking about. Thanks, Cass. There was a very serious situation, tragic news. There was a teenage hockey player named Colin Brown who was shot on I-55 in St. Louis. There was a stray bullet, so I'm guessing he wasn't the intended target, but it was a stray bullet around 10:30 p.m., which seems early for things like this. Saturday on Interstate 55. And him and his family were driving home from one of his hockey games.
Oh, no.
After he was shot, his father continued driving to the area, an area in St. Louis, where he was met by police, EMS. They rushed him to the hospital and was in critical condition for 4 days. Yeah. Not a fun thing. He was 16. A student of Christian Brother College High School in St. Louis County.
What?
And yeah, so
that
not a fun story to talk about.
No, I didn't hear about this. Did this was this broken story before we were doing the podcast? I haven't heard about this at all.
4:30.
This was at
okay.
2 o'clock today.
Jeez.
When this was posted.
I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. That's
yeah.
That's miserable and abysmal. And I guess, do they know who did it? Do they have suspects? Do they have anything?
Nope.
I mean, if we're gonna use our little limited platform that we have, if you saw anything, go to the St. Louis police, because what the hell, dude?
Well, and here, I'll read this. Crime Stoppers, they are offering a $5,000 reward for information on a suspect. And if you do have any relevant information, you can call the St. Louis Metro Police Department's Homicide Detective Line at 314-444-5371 or Crime Stoppers at 866-371-8477. So,
thank you for posting those numbers. Damn,
Senseless. Just senseless.
Yeah. But
I mean,
we'll move on.
Yeah, I don't even know how to transition from that. But anyway, Cass, you've got something to say about the NHL player poll that was done recently.
Yeah,
so more fun to talk about.
Yeah, there were 6 questions asked to players.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was, do you want Ovi to break Wayne Gretzky's record? 98.1 said yes. 1.9 said no.
I'm 1.9.
Oh, yeah. That's wild.
Those 1.9 were the oldest players in the league.
Crazy.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to see that happen? These records are made to be broken. There's got to be guys to come back and do this. So,
Question 2: are you opposed to the NHL having more injury transparency? 2/3 of the players said yes, they are opposed. 1/3 said no.
Mm.
The 2/3 are the ones who would target injuries.
A lot of players said that players would target, especially in the playoffs, if they know exactly if it's an arm issue.
Yeah, Yeah. My thing, I guess, is like at least be a little bit more transparent in regards to whether or not they're going to play the games, because this is for fantasy reasons. There's people who are putting money on these games. For me, it's just fantasy reasons. I had Anton Lundell on my team, and only moments before he was supposed to play, it was a game time decision, they called him out. So like, I could have done something with that. You know what I mean? At least give me that. At least be a little bit more transparent about things like that.
Yeah,
for fantasy reasons.
The quote was, "It's not about leaving other people guessing; it's about protecting us."
I get it.
I think it's smart.
Here's a great question for you guys.
Oh,
you know
no.
where I stand on this. Should the NHL expand to 34 teams?
Yes.
80% of the players said yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're the ones playing it, so I guess.
More jobs for the players is better. We can play longer from the NHLPA player standpoint. More money in the system, more teams, more money for players. I'm on board for that, but keep it at 82 games and get rid of the
That's the problem. Keeping it at 82 games. Because
but pay us more money.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're keeping it at 82 games, the schedule's already messed up. You have to, if you're expanding teams, if you're expanding the amount of teams, you gotta, in my opinion, expand the amount of games that are going to be played. I'm not saying these guys should be playing 100 games a season, but no, that's too much. But I don't know, man. The scheduling is just going to be messed up forever at that point.
But look at it this way, and I kind of wish they could poll players with the specifics like this. Like, would you be for expanding to 34 teams and expanding the regular season to 84 games or 86 games? Because look at it this way. If you're a player like Swayman, you just got 8 by 8.25. And now, because there's 2 more teams, there's more revenue, which means the cap goes up. Now, all of a sudden, that contract could be more like 8 by 9 million.
By 10.
Would you be okay with adding 2 or 4 more games to the schedule?
I think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. You can't say make us work the same amount, but pay us more because there's more cap space.
But that's like me doing that at my job, which would never happen. Is it going to happen at your job? No. Cass, you? No. Okay. So
pay Pay McDonald's employees $15 an hour, but please keep the Big Mac at $2.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Big
that's
Mac, Big
yeah.
Mac.
Moving on.
Where would you like to see the new NHL team play? Have you guys seen these rankings before I have you guess?
I have, yes.
No, I have not.
What do you think would be number one?
Helsinki, Finland.
Houston.
Houston's number one, yeah.
Houston is number 1. Yeah.
54. Quebec City,
Atlanta?
47.
Oh.
Arizona, then Atlanta. Another team in Toronto, which is gross.
I think
And
Arizona's coming back.
Is it
Austin
all
and
the Utah
Saskatoon.
players? Did all the Utah players
I don't know.
vote for Arizona?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just about right. Yeah. 2 players voted for Helsinki, Finland, though. So
That's dumb.
there's Oklahoma City on this list, Miami. Like,
Oklahoma City couldn't even keep the Oilers AHL affiliate. They can't. No.
Have either of you guys seen Grown Ups?
Yeah.
yes.
And grown-ups too.
Every time I see Saskatoon, I think of the ripped guy when all the moms are sitting at the pool and they're all like, ooh, and he's like, hey, it's me, I'm from Saskatoon. And they all like start busting out laughing. It's great. Okay.
Believe it or
anyway,
not, I've been to Saskatoon, and that is
Why am I
not an
not
NHL town.
World Traveler.
They have a WHL team up there, the Saskatoon.
It isn't. It's not
somethings.
a hockey town.
Really. Hmm.
No. It's a no. It's worse than
Everywhere in
Edmonton.
Canada is a hockey town.
It's Canada.
Billabamba.
So, what do you got?
Wait,
what do you got? Go ahead.
You did say Omaha, right?
Uh,
Or is
Nebraska?
it not on the list?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I okay, so my dad works for a company that is based in Omaha, and he is always asking me about a team going to Omaha because people have heard that they're bidding for a team.
I don't know.
So
I don't know. Nebraska? I don't know. Anyway, I don't.
need CHL team.
Dude, they would
All
have
right.
no other pro sport competition though. It would be super smart.
Yeah,
for
that's
the
true. I
city.
guess. But how long until other teams come in and do something there? Right? I mean, that's not going to last too
Get
long.
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse, grade the quality of Fnatic jerseys.
I'm glad to see this though.
52% of players gave it a grade of an A. 33% said B. 13% said C.
I'm happy to see this. 0.6% said D. So, what did you say?
They don't care.
I don't think they care. I mean, you haven't really seen anything about them. You haven't heard anything about them. I mean,
They don't pay for their jerseys. They
Right.
just put the uniform on.
that's true.
We as fans, that's where the opinion actually
I did.
matters,
So I
because-
was I went to Seattle and Vancouver last week, and I did look at the ones that they have on. What'd you say?
Must be nice.
They were cheap. They were actually pretty cheap. I was looking at the,
$38.
no, not $38 cheap. I was looking at the quality of both of them. They didn't look bad. They were hand stitched on. I didn't see anything weird about them. So I guess nice to see that too. So
I've looked at the Dallas Stars shop at the American Airlines Center,
Mhm.
and they look very similar. The biggest difference is no dimples, and the Fanatics logo just seems
it's large.
grotesquely big.
It's large. Yeah. I mean, you could see that from the bird's eye view on TV. Like, it's huge.
But I have heard that they are using the remaining material from Adidas.
Okay. That's
And
nice.
so we could see the decline or the real Fanatic impact come into play next year. And all of a sudden these jerseys don't look as good as you thought.
That's a
we'll
good
But
point.
at the same time, at that point, you'd 100% see it in Utah because they didn't have Adidas jerseys.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
I'll look.
Those are brand new, and I haven't really. Yeah, you go. Look
I
and
don't
you
think
enjoy yourself.
that their owner would have been cool with anything less than amazing.
But it's not up to him. That's Fanatics and NHL.
Yeah, but I mean, with a guy who's coming into, owning a team, paying as much as he did for the first year, you're gonna want those jerseys to be pristine.
So you
I
just
think.
like pay a premium to have different material?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Anyway,
I'll look. We'll see.
This one's kind of interesting. I almost omitted this, but it said, "Do you get more harassing messages from fans since sports betting was legalized?"
Oh, that's a unique question.
I
Two-thirds
think
of them
no.
said yes.
Wow.
One player said, "You get Venmo requests from fans. Their demands, not requests. You owe me $200 because you were on the ice when."
No way. No way. The balls that someone must have to like DM a player and be like, here's a Venmo request. That's
You just
nuts.
really
find
bad.
players on Venmo?
Yeah, how do you do that? I mean, you got to look them up. You got to literally be looking them up to do that. That's crazy.
And then it said, "It's really bad when you play against Toronto because it seems like everyone is betting on Leaf games, but that's Toronto for you." Amazing.
That's funny.
Amazing.
That's funny.
So,
well, I mean, I guess that's a good thing that it hasn't impacted that in some regard.
Yeah. Do you have any more of the polls, or was that the last one?
that's it. Keep in mind, our next episode, we will be going over the roster for the Four Nations tournament.
Yeah, because they're going to be available on Wednesday,
Correct.
a week from today.
You before we go into that, you mentioned that's Toronto for you. Did you guys see that the Utah team, when they were in Toronto, they just walked?
Yeah. had to
Because
walk.
the traffic was so bad.
No, I didn't see that. I saw the one about the Minnesota player that had a walk to, I think it was Calgary. What, they had to do what?
They just got off the bus and they were
No
like, "We'll just
way.
walk." Yeah.
At
I mean, it
Hudson, yeah.
wasn't like down an interstate.
How
It
many
was just-
kilometers was it? Or, I mean, I prefer...
Amanda.
Yeah, anyway, that's crazy. That's
Acres.
awesome. No, I didn't see that.
That's,
All right.
that's all I got for tonight, gentlemen.
Oh, we're not going to do the...
No, because we said half hour. We've been 45.
That's fine. That's fine. We can do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Shit, well, I'm not ready.
I mean,
Okay,
it's
all right. All right,
No. Well,
then next week we will go over the construction of the Four Nations rosters. They're going to be coming out on Wednesday, so we'll be able to see what's going on. We'll be able to talk about it a little bit more. Anything else, guys?
yeah, I think it'll be easier to talk about these rosters when they're out and say who we get snubbed versus predicting who's going to be on them.
That makes sense.
As long as Ottinger's off and Swayman's on. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. He hasn't made a really good example.
No.
No.
Good.
I don't
it'll
know.
Be,
The
it'll be
Stars
that
are
much
losing.
more fiery for the Olympics. So let's go.
So I guess that's it for us tonight. Thank you so
we
much for
won't be-
watching.
Won't be on this Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I will not.
episode
No,
this Saturday.
I've got
but,
stuff and things
next Saturday.
for
Tune
sure.
back in.
Yeah. Happy
Speaking about
Thanksgiving.
stuffing, gentlemen, have a great turkey
Yes,
day.
you too,
Amanda,
Amanda, not you.
blowing us off again. Told you, Jesse, for the record, I told you we should hire Kat. I
No.
freaking told you.
No.
This is the second time in a row. Amanda, 3 strikes and you're out.
Amanda's been here for a while. No. Anyway, thank you so much. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.